Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to ask the universe what it is that I wanted to have a discussion with you about today. And in my pre-shuffle here, it sounds like you're going through some massive transformation. There's a message here. Shed, let go, make room for greatness. The energy right now has been really encouraging a lot of us to just let go of the old. And it's very scary. Like the idea of letting go of the old, it's as though it's like your ego. I feel like the ego is freaked out right now. If I let go of the old, it means I was wrong. But after I go to shuffle, got familiar, listen and learn. And it's not even so much paying attention to animal energy. It's actually more like listen and learn. The universe is trying to show you something outside of the ego, but it feels very feral right now. Got Sekhmet, courage, truth, shadow work. There's some kind of little, I want to call it a beast, but there's something within your shadow that you're having a very difficult time having a look at. Let's get a couple of cards here. We got mirror, mirror. The beauty you see in me is a reflection of you, along with the sun. There's a real ask right now to have some courage to really look at yourself, to look at your reflection in the mirror. That might actually be literal for some of you out there. There's somebody in your energy that they're actually, I feel like they're irritating you, they're annoying you, but they're sort of a karmic soulmate, somebody who is sort of sent by the universe to help you understand something about yourself. Like you should have some semblance of optimism about it. Chances are you've been asking for questions, trying to get some understanding as to who it is that you are and where it is you want to go. Even when you go to set an intention to come across any of these readings, what do you want to know? What is it that you're trying to figure out? Because I feel like some of you have given up on throwing out intentions to the universe. And I think a few of you have been a little bit too open. Okay, I guess whatever the universe wants to tell me. But in the process of doing that, you've sort of surrendered your power and have allowed external energies to tell you what it is that you have to do. And there's an ask within here, even you right now, just to kind of take in a moment, close your eyes and ask yourself, what do I want to get out of these tarot readings? Like, what is it that I'm actually trying to understand? Because I think a few of you just want to know that you're going to get better, that things will be more optimistic down the line. But there's this like hesitation, this frustration, because the universe is trying to show you exactly what it is that you need to see. And there's something within your ego that's making it really difficult for you to tune into that. So if this sounds like your situation, you're more than welcome to stick around. If we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berries, psychic, medium, and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted, but they're also timeless, so please tap into your instincts. Listen to your intuition. If there is anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Do not worry about it. This message may not be for you. But if it does resonate, please let me know by liking and sharing your experience in the comments below. Ooh, like let's breathe. I feel as though the energy got really, really heavy. That my heart chakra is suddenly weighed down. And it's more that I think you guys are ready to start looking at this mirror reflection because the blame game isn't working for you anymore. And especially if you've been around people who've been blame shifters, maybe you yourself have been quite accountable. However, everything, everyone, every experience is a reflection of whatever it is you're going on inside. Maybe on the surface, you've done a great job to make sure you don't give in to temptation. Your masculine energy has been very well trained. Even if you identify as a divine feminine, you still have masculine energy. But the fears that we contain within our soul, the hesitation, the low-key fears, the old narratives, even our past and our history, that ends up getting reflected in our everyday reality, and it could feel as though you're being haunted right now. Wow, well, we got the star. This is a chance for you to have a fresh, brand new beginning. But the fact that I picked up the Wibbly Wobbly, this is the Tarot of Oppositions, because it's so great at having a look what could be going on underneath. You're trying to put on, I don't want to say you're putting on a show, but you're trying to manifest. And it's sort of like the surface version where it's like, okay, if I just act like this, it will happen. But there is something going on in the undertow that your guides, they're just trying to show it to you. And it's probably something you need to cut from your past, changing the narrative of your life story. We got 5 of Swords. This is the card of defeat. But I like this particular one. It looks like you're walking away from something, even though you're looking back. Like, here's I know you're ready to walk away, but I really feel like you're looking back on the old narrative. The part of you that felt helpless, the part of you that really wish you could have gotten help. What else do we have right here? Yeah, 8 of Swords. This is a lack mindset mentality that the universe wants to talk to you about. Let's get a couple of cards. Got the Moon, and we got King of Cups. Like the Moon in opposition to the Sun. The reflection is the Moon. I think one of you mentioned quite recently in the comments, I absolutely loved it. You know, studying the meaning of the Magician card, even though the Magician isn't showing up, but a lot of the, you know, the incantation of the Magician is, as it is above, so is below. And it's to say that what happens below underneath the surface in our psyche, that's the seed that manifests what we see in our reality. I think a lot of you guys are trying to be positive. That is a theme that I've been picking up lately. How do we put ourselves into positivity? But I think a few of you have been prone to toxic positivity, like happy, like don't say anything negative to me. If I hear anything negative, no, that's like, I don't want to be put that. And usually people who are resistant to hearing quote unquote negative things, it means that they're stuck in toxic positivity. They're a happiness pump, and this is a result of masking and trying to move forward, trying to hide the feelings. And it's all mostly just because we don't have the tools in order to transmute what's going on underneath the surface. There is going to be an ask. It sounds like there's going to be an incoming situation that's going to help you work through this particular piece of your shadow. You're having a difficult time seeing it because it is difficult to think that I take accountability, but why am I magnetizing blame shifters? And there's something about, and it doesn't have to be blame shifting. That's just the example that's showing up. But there's this interesting sort of look within here for you to have a very creative idea. I'm going to put some obsidian there. Having a very creative idea to understanding how other people are just a reflection of you. It actually isn't a bad thing. It just means that you've been through the paradigm of blame shifting, like some degree or another. You've been through the paradigm of abuse, through neglect, through abandonment, and it always follows you. And it's not to haunt you. You're just supposed to observe it. You're not supposed to entertain it. But right now you guys are subconsciously entertaining it. It's sort of like, yes, we're going to be very mature about this, but deep down inside, you're like frustrated and growling and grr and, oh, why is that person this way? So that's what we need to have a look at. Let's get a few more cards here. Got the Wheel, 6 of Wands, Queen of Swords. So funny. I'm trying to simmer into this frequency, and there's still a lot of hesitation. I need an energy card here to loosen this up. Like, what kind of vibrational frequency of the past and of the future can my viewer be in to help uncover this victory? Because it's sort of like a warning right now. You're sort of at this point where you're just going to continue pretending things are okay when they're really not, accepting medium results. And I think you're kind of going through this frequency of supreme frustration. It's not as though you're not trying. And I think that's where you might be getting a little bit upset. The Temple of Suspended Endings. Surprised, not surprised. It's just the universe is holding you still because your guides really want you to see something. They really want you to have a very close look at something. The galactic transporter, adventure, exploration, discovery. There is an opportunity for you to start having fun, to actually enter into your purpose. And I think a lot of you are still struggling with things that have happened, even quite recently. Supreme loss, having to accept failures, or even just being stuck in the past. But let's what can we do to release this from the past? Discernment, discipline. I nearly said disorder. That's funny. Your energy has been in a bit of a negative polarity. So it's sort of as though you think happy is sad, sad is happy, or sometimes when our heart is in negative polarity, we come across people and we kind of retract in. It's a little bit of this PTSD fear response. Let's get another card for the future. Spectrum generator, reprogramming, transmutation, stabilization. So your guides are trying to work you through this so that you can be more receptive to the guidance that they're trying to give. Let's get some clarity on the Six of Wands. And I'm actually going to grab the Shadow Oracle. You know, we got Get Wild. Are you willing to try something radically different? And ironically, whatever this is, this victory path, you're on the right track. You just need to change things. Like, you notice how this wheel here, it's just a few degrees off, and it's not as though the universe is trying to, fuck with you. It is trying to get rid of some older paradigms. Like, I see the scythe right here, and I think a few of you are afraid that you're just going to get cut down if you repeat this over again. But I think that's more of a self-limiting belief, because we do have that Eight of Swords right there. What do we have at the base? Boundaries. Yeah, okay. You're putting up a boundary to your manifestation. You're putting up a boundary because I think with this Queen of Wands, interesting Freudian slip, this Queen of Swords, there's a gift that got, I'm hearing the word squelched. It's a little less, it's a little more benign when we say it that way. In the past, you spoke your truth. You were actually trying to be yourself. And then someone who was sort of like the mean version of you, the mean alternative universe version of you, crammed you down, said, you can't speak that way, or you're too much like this, or it's too much like that. Like, what? Let's see here. We got the Weaver. Oh, this is sort of the feeling like, I was saying earlier, you need to make an intention for your tarot readings. You can, in some ways, sure, you can subconsciously allow yourself to flow through YouTube readings and other places where you get your divine resources. But I feel like you've been a little bit too passive. And I think it's because you've been trying to find inspiration. You've been allowing other energies to sort of dictate where you should go. And in some ways, you didn't do anything wrong, but it's actually time for you to get off the lazy river and start making some direct intentions, because you're actually stuck in a circle of being a little bit too passive. As my alarm decides to go off, that's a confirmation. What else do we have right here? Versatility. Like, you're underestimating yourself. Like, as much as I love to joke, like, oh yeah, man, this is weed. No, this is hemp is a very robust and versatile plant. It grows in all kinds of different climates, and you're actually a very resilient individual, but it's sort of like you can overcome this. Your ability to speak your truth, honest, thoughtful, kind, constructive criticism. Like, this is the ability to negotiate, in a lot of ways having some semblance of emotional intelligence. The King of Cups is about utilizing all of the elements and having a good conversation around it. Great communication. And there's an ask for you in order to enter into your highest abundant timeline. There's something I feel like you threw away a while ago. You spoke your truth and someone slapped your wrist. And honestly, like, you're just being yourself. And you were around somebody who wasn't willing to see their own shadow. And it's sort of like you took on their energy. And it's actually, in some ways, it's simple to say just do a cord cutting, you know. And on my Patreon, I do have a cord cutting ceremony that is very effective to remove certain energies from our life so that we can move forward. But this person's living in your mind rent free, and somehow you've given it permission to make you think that you can't speak up, that you can't be yourself, that you're not good enough, or maybe you need to practice a little bit more. Oh my God. Like, let's get some guidance for you. Got Three of Wands, the Lovers, Queen of Pentacles. This is a bit of a confirmation that you're a little bit stuck in the happiness pump maritime paradigm. Because the fact that I'm flubbing a bunch of words, it means that something needs to be spoken. It's as though your throat chakra is in negative flow. And there's something about, well, okay. All right, Weaver, you calm the fuck down there. Like, look at the shadow over here. Like, a lot of you are avoiding this feeling. And I think it's actually because you keep waiting for the opportunity, keep waiting for the opportunity, but you're looking to the past. Like, this person here is looking at the wheel, looking at fate. Well, it's my fate and my destiny. Yes, it is your fate and your destiny. However, you're looking the wrong direction. You're trying to manifest based on a past version of you, an artificial version of you. In a lot of ways, if you've been able to make it to this part of the message and get past some of these quote unquote accusations that you're like this, it means that you are ready to start seeing through an illusion that you took on somebody else's energy, assumed it was your own, and you took accountability for somebody else's sins. What's up with this Lovers? Let me get the Shadow Oracle again. Let's get a card for the Three of Wands, card for the Lovers here, just so I can make sure that my read on the Three of Wands is accurate. I feel like there's going to be a bit of an incoming test. You do have a soulmate that the universe is going to be aligning you to. I don't know if this is somebody you know or not. I don't think it really matters. Because in order for you to get over this, you're going to be asked to take a little bit of a leap of faith and just try to speak your truth. Sometimes it's nice. I'm hoping this is somebody fresh, brand new, somebody that you have no history with. That's kind of what I'm sort of crossing my fingers for on behalf of you guys. Because when we are around people we don't know them very well, they don't know us very well, and you don't have anything to lose if they think you're kind of weird and unusual. For you to just be yourself, speak your truth. You know, it's like, oh, so what do you do for a living? And you know, how do you feel comfortable enough to say, well, I'm a psychic, and feel okay about it? There's something about just finally speaking who it is that you truly are. Like, you know, this particular Queen of Swords has the crystal ball. Like, you've been a little bit too obsessed understanding the shadow, and you've been overprotective, and in some ways your vibration has become a little bit repelling to other folks, and it's because you're afraid that you're wrong. And it's okay to, like, how do I phrase this? It's okay to be wrong. Like, you won't always be correct. You won't always be perfect, as much as we'd like to try. But if you're brave enough and mature enough to know when you're wrong and see something from a different perspective, well, that keeps you in balance. The person, whoever it was in your past, that kind of got into your mind rent free, that kind of, like, again, I keep hearing the word squelched because it's a funny word. They try to dim your light. They tried to get you to shut up. They didn't want to be exposed. They didn't want to be seen for the liars that they are, because they can't even see themselves. Like, this, whoever this person is has a terrible third eye chakra. Yeah, they have like an inverted third eye chakra. It's completely shut down, and you accidentally copy and pasted their feminine energy. We sometimes do that. It's like, oh, if that hurt, I should probably do the same thing as them. And you mirrored their pain. Oh, this is such a weird message, but I really hope it's making sense. At the base, we got the card of release, play, player, playing around, paradox. This is a previous version of it has been avoidant on an emotional level. You've been emotionally avoidant mostly because, well, you didn't want to get hurt again, and that's fine. But there's something about, yeah, I really feel like you're having a roommate. That's funny. Having a soulmate, somebody that you're going to be coming across paths. They have a lot to do with this Queen of Pentacles. They have something to do with your next timeline, whatever it is that you've been trying to manifest. They're actually just kind of a passive observer. And I really feel neutral about who this person truly is, but they're going to help ground and stabilize you. So it's sort of like, well, I spoke my truth and they were kind of cool. All right, whatever. Like you could tell that they may or may not get it. This person may not fully understand, but there's something okay about that. I get a lot of peace and tranquility. The irony being, because I see the paradox, you've been avoiding certain emotions that has prevented you from speaking your truth and just being honest, just being your true, authentic self. And it's kept you stuck because sometimes we look for validation. If someone can see my truth first before I speak it, then I'll be okay. You're just going to be stuck forever because that's how this other person has behaved, whoever this karmic individual is from your past. As opposed to maybe if I take a leap of faith and I just be myself, you never know. Maybe I'll get to know somebody brand new. Maybe they'll share something about themselves. Maybe they'll just be kind of cool with it and we can just go on with life neutrally. Like in some ways, we're trying to find the middle right now so that you don't scare off your manifestations, but you also don't keep yourself stuck in the past timeline. Tell me a little bit more about this Queen of Pentacles. Like this is the queen that is ultimately giving, but in a lot of ways you're being transmuted. So you stop over giving and stop over complicating your life. Interesting. Something your throat chakra wants to give out because you're actually like, well, this looks like the shadow. She may seem like she's conniving and getting off by being withholding. You're being asked to maybe just avoid that assumption. That's just a projection. It's actually very important that you don't just give everything away because with your guidance, we did have boundaries at the base of the deck. You can be a kind, compassionate person, but it doesn't mean you need to give it away to everybody, which also means who it is that you talk to and having the discernment of what it is that you say to people, what it is that you share, whether if it is something about yourself or something about them. You are learning the difference between the two, but for now, you just need to focus on being yourself without as much concern because it's one of these things. The universe is daring you. If you just speak your truth, just allow the universe to respond in kind. That if someone doesn't understand you, they'll just kind of walk away, or they'll just conveniently vanish, or they'll eventually ebb and flow away out of your reality. I love this. Transmute, along with strength, movement. There is some encouragement within here. You're doing the correct thing. Yes, you're stuck a little bit right here. Your intentions are in the right place. It's just a simple shift. Rather than getting stuck going in circles round and round based on somebody else's idea of who you should be, based on somebody else's projection, somebody else's trauma that you took on. It's time to release that. Let it go. Like they got into your shadow and they don't belong there. You have a lot of goddess energy around you that's teaching you and showing you how it is that you can transmute. And it's only as good as your willingness to accept the knowledge, to accept the guidance. But these people that you're going to be encountering, there'll be multiple individuals, but I really feel there's going to be a lot of friendship here. And it's going to help strengthen you. And it's going to help open up this gateway. Like we have a lot of, like, we have the card of transmutation, transformation, and there's an ask for you to really start thinking about what it means to be within your masculine versus your feminine. In order to get out of this loop, you got to step into your masculine energy, into your masculine authority, the willingness to speak, to know that if they don't understand me and they don't get me, that's a them problem. Knowing that you can take care of yourself, knowing that you are safe. Just allow things to happen, but set the intention. You've had it a little bit backwards. Feel strong enough to ask the universe, please bring me somebody that I can practice my truth on. Please send me somebody who I can safely learn how to express myself. It's that simple. Wow. Okay. I think that's the message. Well, if this resonated with you, please let me know by liking and letting me know below how this might have made sense to you. But if you do need some more in-depth guidance, I do provide tarot readings as well as live personal sessions. So check out the description. All the information is there below. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, when I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.